For anybody who watched my latest videos knows that I'm concentrating on Lay the Draw. So this is just a quick update of the October results. For anybody who hasn't seen those videos, I'll just give you a very quick run through of what these sheets are. As you can see, the first column there is obviously the home team. Second column is the away team. This column is the Betfair price at kickoff. This column would be if you to lay that price for a £10 bet, so 3.3 would mean it would be £23 to lay it. That is the half-time score. That is the Betfair price at half-time. This column here is if to lay that price for a £10 bet. That is the full-time result. This column here is I record how many goals there was in the second half. This is something I'm just using for future reference. And these columns here are the results. So this first match, as you can see, was 0-0 at half time, 1-1 at full time. So therefore, you would have lost £23 and £13.20 for the half time results. If it would have wanted to be £9.80, the reason why it's £9.80 is because the 20p would have been the 2% commission what Betfair charge. So these are the results for the Premier League. You can pause the video if you want to see it individually. Same for the Championship. Division 1. And I'm scrolling quite quickly, but like I say, if you wanted to pause to see the individual ones, you can do. This is Division 2. The National League. If anybody wants me to go a bit more in depth to these sheets, please just comment below and I'll do another video where maybe I'll talk about where I get all these percentages from in a minute. That is the Scottish League. As you can see, I've already started the November ones. And this sheet here is the results. So in total, if you were to do the Premier League, there was 33 games. 24 of them would have won, i.e. not being a draw. However, if you were to back them, you would have lost £17 for the 90 minutes, but you would have been up £38 from half time. As you can see, I also record return on investment and the strike rate. Ideally, strike rate you want to be 75% or above. That's where the money is. This 80% section here is something that I do to try and beat the bucket. If you've watched any of my last videos, you'll know where I get this from. But again, if you want to go into a bit more detail where I get this 80% from, I can do another video if you like. So we're down to the Championship. You've actually won £309 or 186 from half time with an 88 and 89% strike rate, which is really good. That's good. League 1, again you would have been £72 up and £50 up. League 2, £210 up, but you would have lost £47 if you was to lay it at half time. The National League, you would have been £130 up and £150 up. Scottish Pen was disappointing, you would have been £93 down or £55 down. So this is the total of all the 6 leagues altogether. So there was 305 games, 243 would have won. So from the kickoff, you would have been over £600 up with a return on investment of 6.55 and a strike rate of 80%. Half time, you'd have been £320, 14 and 75. And if I was to do my 80%, like I explained, this is something that I try to do to beat the bookie. It was actually a good month in terms of strike rate, so it had been 81%, which is bang on what I want to do, with a return on investment of 8%. But there's not many games that qualify, so there were 16 in total out of the 305 that would have backed on. 13 won. So I've only won £46.40 in this month. This other section, again, is another total one, but this is not including the Scottish or the National League. So again, another good month, you would have been £575 up, £227 up, or my 80% would have been £17 up. Now what I've been doing, obviously, I've been doing my own bets as well. Unfortunately, my bankroll is not big enough to back every single one of these. So this is where my 80% comes in. I haven't backed them all yet, as you can see. I probably will do in the future. But just again, give you a quick rundown. These are obviously the teams. This is what the percentage, which I will show you in a minute where I get that from. This is if it won or lost. This section is actually the bets that I actually place. This is if it's the won or loss. So at the moment, there's been 27 games. 21 have won, so it's running at 78%, which is quite good. This is what I'm aiming for. Like I said, I'm aiming for the 80%. Unfortunately, I'm actually £58 down because the ones I've actually backed are the ones that I've lost. Typical. If I was to back every single one, it would have been £25.80 up. This section here is second half goals. This is where I get my 80% from. So I've also been recording the second half goals, and that's running at 93%, which is quite high. Going forward, this is something I will probably look at. For the people who do this regularly will know that a second half goal from 45 minutes onwards is only around about the 1.2 mark. However, after about 10-15 minutes, that can soon rise to about 1.5. So this is something I'm going to look at in the forward. I said that again. This is something I'm going to look at going forward and probably use a drip method to see if I can capitalise on that. So I'll just show you this sheet quickly. Again, I have explained where all this comes from in the past. But these are the games coming up on next weekend. These are midweek games. And then these are next weekend. So depending when you watch this video, these games may have already took place. So the 80% is just straightforward second half goal. What I'm looking for is an 80% mark on that. So Liverpool Brentford next weekend would qualify for my 80%, and I believe there's another one down here. Yep, Tranmere Forest Green also 80%, 85% on that case. So these are the two that I would actually physically lay the draw. If I wanted, 80% is quite high, so I can change that whatever I want. So I can change that to 75%, and there you go. I've got another one there for Aston Villa, Fulham, Middlesbrough, Leicester, and so on. Let's change that back. And these other ones is basically the over goals. So again, this is something I look to play. I normally play the over 1.5s, and what I've done is 90%. So as you can see, it's highlighted. And what I particularly look for is stuff like that one, where this one is 100% and the over 2.5s is 92%. So I would probably back that one as being over 1.5 goals. Again, if I wanted to, I can change these. So if 90% is too high, I could change it to 80%. And I get more selections and so forth. If this is something you're interested in, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.